Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of the 3 by the Sea Designs podcast. My name is Kim and I live right outside of Tampa, Florida. Today is Friday, February 11th, 2022, and welcome to the podcast. My mom, my sister, and I are a trio. We own an Etsy shop where we sell handmade items for knitters and crocheters. And this podcast is all about our shop, things that I've been working on, knitting, crochet, just all the goodies. So thank you for joining me. I have my tea and this adorable mug that my son got me for Christmas. And it's still a little bit hot, so I'm trying to get it to cool down so I can drink some of it. But I've got lots to show you today. So settle in, grab your project that you're working on, and I hope you get to knit or crochet while you're watching this. Okay, so let's talk about shop news. This weekend, tomorrow, we are going to add a few things into the shop, just stitch markers and progress keepers, and they are mostly St. Patrick's Day related, March related. There's a rainbow, there is a little gold, or a little globe with some gold goodies in it for the leprechauns. What else? Well, I can just show you actually because I have them right here. They're just hard to show on the camera. I showed them in the intro video, but I wanted to show them again. So this is our rainbow with the adorable green flower. By the way, I got a new phone and I switched from Android to iPhone. Finally made the switch back. And it's been years. It's been probably 4 or 5 years since I've had an iPhone. And it's very hard to switch because they're completely different. So I'm hoping that I'll get the hang of it with the camera and everything. So if anything seems off, that's why. All right, so we have this adorable heart. It's a gold heart with a green inside, a green heart inside. And we put a little green jump ring on it. This one's really cute. It's a 4-leaf clover with a ladybug. If I cover my face, maybe it'll show it better. We have the clatter ring with a green and gold bead on it. This is the globe I was talking about. Gold confetti, we'll probably call it. So this is a little glass jar with green, gold, and white beads in it. and it has a little green beer charm added to it. So those are new. Those will be in the shop tomorrow on Saturday. We also added in, we had a 2-piece set for a while with a taco and a little another little charm that had a little saying. And we had a few extra tacos, so I'm gonna add those in as a single because I don't have any of the other charm left, so there's no more 2 pieces. So those are the new stitch markers and progress keepers. A lot of people wonder what's the difference between a stitch marker and a progress keeper, and truly they're interchangeable. We offer several different clasps that you can choose from. So if you're looking for something with a closed ring that you can use as a true stitch marker to help you find your place when you're knitting, then you want the rings. So we have 8mm rings and 10mm rings for that, depending on what size you want for whatever project you're working on, what needle size. Then we have lobster clasps. We have 2 sizes, 12mm and 14mm. And those are easy to just clip onto your project, and you can use them as a progress keeper to track your progress. You can move the progress keeper daily. I usually move them after I've done a podcast. So the next time I podcast, I can show you guys how much progress I've made. A lot of people move them daily though to see how much progress they've made for that day or that week. We also have the lever back, and depending on the color of the charm you order, whether they're silver or gold, they may have a standard lever back or they may have a round lever back. And that's mainly due to supply issues. In the last 6 months, really the last year, we've had a lot of trouble finding a good supplier that is consistent in the lever backs that we order. As far as color goes, we want it to match perfectly to the charm, and as far as quality. So, we don't send out anything unless it's basically in perfect condition. And that goes for our bags, our project bags, as well as our stitch markers, because we want these things to last for you. We want them to be durable. We know you're going to be taking the stitch markers and the progress keepers on and off of your projects. So we want to make sure that what we send out to you is quality and that you'll be able to use it for a long time. And so, our standards are pretty high with that. And so it's been difficult for us to find a supplier where the clasps are what we're looking for and what we've had in the past. So we've finally found a few that are good. It's just making sure that it's consistent every time we order them. And, COVID kind of messed everything up with shipping and delays and all of that. So, but just know that what we do send out to you, we have inspected, we've checked it, double checked, triple checked, make sure the clasps open correctly and make sure that they aren't snaggy and that you're going to be able to use them for a long time. So, other shop news, the last day of February or around March 1st, we are going to have our shop update. I said there will be project bags, there'll be new stitch markers, progress keepers. I don't think we have anything else to add in at this time, but that could change. You never know. But it's gonna be our spring update. So lots of new spring related bags, stitch markers, think of floral things, and it's not just gonna be spring related stuff. There will be other things in as well. A few things that we are restocking, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I've already seen a few of the prints fabrics that Becky and my mom are working on, and I'm really excited about showing all of that off to you. So just so you know, it will be most likely March 1st. I don't think that's a weekend. March 1st is a Tuesday. So normally we don't update on Tuesdays. Normally we update on Saturdays, but this time we are going to try to make sure it's at the very beginning of the month. And there's a reason for that, but you know, you'll find out about that later on. Oh, this tea is finally able to drink my tea now. It's cooled down enough. What else are we going to talk about? I did not tell you where you can find us at. All of our contact information will be linked down below in the description box, but you can find us on Instagram, Facebook as 3 by the Sea Designs. You can email us 3bytheseadesigns@gmail.com, and you can always message us on Etsy if you have a question about something specific, or if you want to do a custom order, that type of thing. So those are all of the places that you can find us. And also here on YouTube, of course, you can comment on the videos if you have any questions. One more thing as far as shop news goes, we do have a few candygrams left in the shop right now. They are actually on sale. I think they're 20% off right now. So if you don't know what a candygram is, we put together a little package for you to purchase for either yourself or your friends that has a stitch marker set, a notions item that was a mystery gift, some sweet treats, and a Valentine's card. So you can send them to your friends, you can send them to yourself if you want a little Happy Meal gift, and there's just a few left. So after Valentine's Day, we'll take those down if there's any left still, and but I just wanted to remind you that they are on sale currently in the shop. I think that's it officially for shop news. So I have, let's see, I have 2 finished objects. I have some progress on my whips, and I also have a new cast on that I want to show off to you today. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you, it has been something that I started last May, believe it or not, May of last year, and I don't think I ever showed the bag that I had it in. My brother bought me this bag when he went to England a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I love it. So I'm excited to show this off. Now, I did not block it or weave in any of the ends yet because I finished it either yesterday or the day before, and it's been a little bit chilly here, so I didn't know how long it was going to take to dry once I soaked it and blocked it. So I'm going to do that tonight actually, and then hopefully by the weekend, the end of the weekend, right when it warms up again, but it'll be finished. But it's done. I finished my pullover. So this is the Flax Light pullover by Tin Can Knits. And I finished both sleeves. So I'm so excited that it's finished. You guys really inspired me to get it done. I knit it using Olive and 2U in the colorway Summer Madness. It's a 70% superwash merino, 20% silk, 10% cashmere blend. And I have this much left. I used 3 skeins, and I don't know if this would have been enough for, it probably would have actually, because this feels like about a little more than, actually this probably feels about like 20 grams, but I used a different color for the bottom and for the cuffs, the ribbing. And I did that, originally I did that because I was afraid I was gonna run out of yarn, this yarn. But then as I was trying to look for an alternate color, I was like, wow, that actually looks really pretty with to have an alternate color at the bottom. So obviously I have some ends to weave in, and I think I will block it first and then weave in the ends once it's finished. But I really like how it turned out. I like the detail. It's mostly just plain stockinette, except on the shoulder all the way down. But on the shoulder there is some detail, like a garter ridge. I don't know if you can see that. But I really like how it turned out, and once I block it, I think it will be even better. And then I have to go in like on the underarm part and kind of join that area together where you pick up your stitches. There's like a gap, so I have to do that. So there are still a few things left to do with this, but it's, as far as the knitting goes, it's finished, so I wanted to show it off to you. So technically this is my first sweater ever that I've knit. So next time I podcast, I'll wear it. I'll block it, weave in the ends, fix up the underarm areas, and then I will wear it. And maybe I can take a picture and post it on Instagram or Facebook, or both. Okay, so my second finished objects is a pair of DK weight shorty socks. I had them in my sloth project bag that my mom made for me a few years ago. So the yarn that I used, I held 2 fingering weight yarns together. I used a Desert Vista Dye Works self-striping from Summer Sock Camp from last year. This was leftovers. And then I held it double with this beautiful variegated yarn from Elm Tree Yarns. Let me show you her label. I don't have the Desert Vista Dye Works label, but this is the label for the other one. But they're both fingering weight, 75-25 blend. This colorway was called Foxglove, just in case she ever dyes it again. I don't know. It was part of a mystery club, so she probably won't do that colorway again. But Elm Tree Yarns, her yarn is really pretty. So here they are. They're all finished. I think last time I had one finished and I was like maybe halfway done with the second one. I don't remember. They don't match completely, but that's totally fine with me. They were a Scrappy project. I was using leftovers, so it didn't matter to me. I cast on 48 stitches. I did a 2x2 ribbing for 5 rows. And then I think I did 5 rows of stockinette before I started the heel. It's just a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. And then the toe is the umbrella toe from K. Jones. So it's just a plain vanilla sock, no real pattern. But I really like the rounded toe, how they end up, or the umbrella toe. I think she calls it the umbrella toe. So these are finished. These are on, I have these on our 3 by the Sea sock blockers made for us by Twin Mommy Creations. She does some really cool stuff with woodworking. You should check her out for sure. So that is my second finished object. I'm excited to wear these. I like DK socks. I mean, I like shorty socks a lot because we live in Florida, and during the summertime especially, it's nice to have a shorter sock. All right, so let's move on to whips. I'm going to show you my shawl first. It has been in my Christmas project bag that my mom made for me a couple of years ago. This is the 12 Days of Knitmas shawl by Nomadic Knits. It was a mystery knit along that started on Christmas Day, and each day for 12 days you did a different clue. And as you know, I fell far behind, but that's okay. I'm enjoying the process of this. So last time I showed this, I was here. I was almost finished with day 5, which is this lacework section. And I have done day 6 and day 7. Day 6 was cool because I learned how to make baubles. So that was a fun technique to learn, and it adds like a nice texture to the shawl. It doesn't look like a lot of progress, but actually took me a little while to do this section. And then day 7 was these, I think like a palette cleanser because of the long lace work section and then these baubles. So they were probably like, well, they need something simple to do next. So, but it's actually a really cool section. I did modify it a little bit because you could have gone longer with the stripes, but I chose because it's already so long anyway that I just decided to make this section a little bit shorter. But I want to read to you a little bit from the pattern, and it's free, so I'm not giving anything away, but I don't know if you can see in these lighter stripes, there's a few purl bumps and slip stitches separated by knit stitches. I don't know if those are showing up, but there's meaning there, and that's what I want to read to you now. Okay, and like I said, this is a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away. But day 7 was called Morse Code Intentions. Today is a great day to set your intentions for the year ahead. While so many things are outside of our control, it can be helpful to take a few minutes to think about our emotional needs. Self-care is so important, especially these days when the world is a dumpster fire and we're all doing our best to survive without losing our minds. How true is that? So what they did was they created these charts and they picked different words for the charts. And the story goes that Morse code, okay, so it says, why Morse code? Throughout history, women and some men have used knitting as a form of espionage, working codes into their stitches to share valuable information such as troop positions and supply train routes. I'm thinking like World War II type of stuff. That's what came to my mind when I read this story. Women could also sit and knit in public for extended periods without drawing attention to themselves, making them ideal incognito spies. So you just picked your words, and the words I picked were courage, gratitude, love, and strength. Those were my 4 words that I picked. I put 2 words on each stripe. So on the first stripe was like courage and love, and then gratitude and strength in those. And I just thought that was a really cool story. I'd never heard that before about the knitting, that women could just sit and knit something and no one knew the wiser that they were actually spies and they were trying to send codes and signals to people through their knitting. I thought that was a really cool way to use the knitting craft, you know, to help them during that hard time of war. So that was day 7. I really thought that was neat, and I'm just knitting on this as I find the time and the inspiration to do so. I'm not in a huge hurry. I know it was a knit along, but I'm just really enjoying the process of this. So it'll get done when it gets done. And then I'll have something nice and warm to wrap up with. It's going to be basically, well, this is all the way to day 7, and it's already this long. So it's going to be a humongous wrap. And if you didn't want to do the wrap version, there is a scarf version as well, which is about this wide, I would say. It was a little, I think it was a little less than half of the wrap version. But you could do one, if you didn't want to do it, take quite so much time to finish it, you could do the scarf version as well. So I definitely recommend it. It's fun, and you learn lots of new techniques and new information about knitting that I found so interesting. Actually, I did talk about there's like 3 or 4 different yarn dyers that I used. So if you want to check out episode 1, I talked about them in a lot of detail, but I won't go into them again because I feel like I've talked about that shawl a lot. Whip number 2. Last time we talked about, I showed the Yarnable yarn, and I showed the sock that I was making from the Yarnable box subscription. Let me show that. Yarnable is a box subscription that you can get every month by Hypnotic Yarn. This was the colorway for January. It was like a blue with speckles of gold, or yellow really, and black. And I was to here, let's see. Last time I showed this, I had done the cuff and I was right to here. And I have finished the rest of sock 1. Let me put this on a blocker because I want to talk to you about this pattern. So I said I was going to do something called the Magic Heel pattern. I will put up on the screen the name of the designer of this pattern because I don't remember off the top of my head what the name is, so I'll pop it up on the screen. Okay, so this is the Magic Heel pattern. It's basically stockinette. It is a paid-for pattern, so I'm not going to reveal too much. And there's different versions of the pattern you can do. You can do it with all one color, or she shows you how to fade in different colors, which I thought was really cool. I might try that. But basically, I just did the stockinette version with all one color. I did a 2x2 ribbing for 20 rows, and then I knit 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I knit 60 rows for the leg, which I normally do not do that long of a leg, but I wanted to see how the yarn would, like how the pattern of the yarn would go. So the Magic Heel is basically there's no heel flap or gusset. It's this sort of ribbed heel here, and it's stretchy. And then I did an umbrella toe again because I love the umbrella toe. So I liked it. I liked knitting it this way because it was something different than the heel flap and gusset. I will hold off on saying durability wise how the heel goes and how they feel. I mean, I did try it on and it fits, so that's fine. But I don't know how the heel's gonna be until I really wear them truly. So when I finish the second sock and have worn them, then I will let you know what I think about the heel. I do think that this heel is good for people who are knitting socks for someone else and you're not really sure how their instep is or how the socks will fit them with a heel flap and gusset. You know, some people do the fish lips kiss heel or the afterthought heel and they don't really fit them well. Some people don't like the heel flap and gusset as far as the fit goes, which personally I do. I don't like the afterthought heel because I must have a high instep because the afterthought heels and the Fish Lips Kiss heel don't really fit me that great. So this is a good alternative if you are knitting socks and you want the heel to fit differently, or if you're knitting socks for someone else, because it's really stretchy, so there's room to grow if you're making them for kids or, you know, whatever. But I love the yarn. I love how it ended up pooling. I did also knit these helical because I wanted to alternate skeins so I could see how it would pool differently than someone who just knit it, you know, with one strand. So I did alternate them that way, and it still ended up pooling, but I really love how it turned out. So I finished the first one and I started the second one. And what's interesting to me is I'm on the ribbing, the cuff of the second one. But what's interesting to me is that this is already pooling differently than the first sock, and I'm doing it the exact same way. So I don't know how that works, but I mean, it looks very similar. But it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out compared to the first one, using the same exact way. When I got to the toe, I will say this, when I got to the toe, I did cut the second strand and just knit the toe with one strand, which is probably why it looks a little bit different down here. I mean, you're also decreasing, and I had to switch to magic loop. So all of that is, you know, taken into consideration when you're to where your colors are going to sit as far as pooling goes. But it'll be interesting to see how this does for the second sock. So I'm really enjoying it. I enjoyed the pattern. I enjoyed the yarn. It's so soft and so squishy. The base, I think I said last time, is an 85 superwash merino, 15% nylon. So it's very plump and soft, which I love. So that's my January socks. I got my February Yarnable box, and I'm gonna show that in a little while. But I'm gonna have to do a little bit of overlap between the January and February socks. I'm not sure what pattern I'll use for those, but I'll talk about that later. Okay, so the next whip I have to show you is in this tote that I talked to you about last time, this Christmas tote, and it is a Scrappy blanket. So I have all of my yarn scraps in here, and I'm just picking them as I go. This is the Bits and Bobs blanket by Kay Jones, and it is, you hold 2 fingering weight yarns together to make it DK, and I have made really good progress on this since last time. So let me hold it up and show you, get it situated. Ooh, and I just dropped a stitch. Dropped a few stitches actually. Okay, so as I was going to hold that up, I dropped like 6 stitches off the end of one, so I will have to go back and fix those now later on. So lesson learned, always have a stitch stopper on your needles when you are stretching it out. I had just had like a little bit of a panic mode. You can see I just picked those back up, but I will have to go back and fix that issue. So I was right around, I was here last time I showed the blanket. So I've done from here all the way up. Oh, I can't believe I dropped those stitches. I was saying last time about this that one of the things that's frustrating is when you mess up a stitch on this blanket, it's hard to figure out how to fix it. And when you drop a stitch especially and it drops down 4 or 5 rows, it's really difficult to fix. So I have to find a good alternative to that and figure out how to fix them the right way. But I really love how it's turning out. It's been one of my favorite things to knit on right now. I'm just using all my scraps and I'm holding a light color and a dark color together to give it that marled look. And I love how it's striping. I'm just letting the colors do what they want to do. And when I finish with one color, I magic knot a second color to it, or the next color to it, and just keep going. So there's no ends to weave in at all, which has been really nice. And when I finish, I'll be really happy I did it that way. It's the same on both sides. So yeah, I love it. Like I said, it's what I've been wanting to work on the most. And I was worried that I was going to get bored with it, but I am not at all because of the color changes. And I've never knit a blanket before, so I am excited about having a knitted blanket. So I highly recommend this pattern. Love it. I can't wait. I mean, I'm enjoying the process, but I also can't wait until it's finished so I can snuggle up with it and see just how it looks like finished off. So that is that. I have no idea what color I'm going to add in next, but you know, like I said, I'm just letting the colors, I'm trying to do different stripes all the way through and just using a light and a dark color held together. So that's it for existing whips. I do have a new cast on that I want to show you that I'm so excited about. It was part of my, I added it to my Make 9 board for this year for my garment board. It is the Radvent cardigan by Amba O'Brien. There's so much to say about this, so let's see where to begin. So the Radvent cowl is something that she designed for you that you can use all of your Advent minis with. You can stripe it, you can fade colors in. There's so many different ways that you can do it. That was, I think, her original purpose, was to help you come up with ideas for your Advent calendars. But she also says in the pattern that you can use one color, you can use 2 colors and have contrasting cuffs and, you know, the ribbing at the bottom, which is what I decided to do. So let me show you where I'm at so far. The way this is constructed is you start with the sleeves. So I started with the cuff, and I am this far on the sleeve, about halfway done with the sleeve. And these are batwing sleeves, so you just keep increasing and increasing until you get to the number of stitches that you need, and they'll be kind of baggy sleeves. Because I didn't learn my lesson the last time, you know. Where are my stitch stoppers? Okay, so I went and got some stitch stoppers because I learned my lesson with the blanket. Okay, so where was I? These are batwing sleeves. I think I said that. So you're gonna have a bulky, longer sleeve, which is totally fine because it'll be nice and comfy and cozy, which is what I was going for with this. I am holding, okay, so for the yarn, let me show you what I picked for the yarn. I have them in this bag. I switched them over to this bag because it's a pink cardigan, so I thought this would be pretty in my pink magnolia bag. So I'm using for the cuff and the ribbing at the bottom, which also goes around the neckline and down. I'll pop a picture up of it so you can see what the cardigan looks like. But for the contrast color, I'm using this pink, this dark pink. This is by Twin Mommy Creations. This is her label. I've had this yarn for ages, and I finally figured out what I wanted to use it for. This colorway is called Dragon Fruit Please. It's a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. There's our information. And so that's my contrast color. My main color is this really pretty soft pink that I dyed myself. So squishy also. This is also a 80-20 superwash merino nylon. That's what it looks like in a skein, or a hank, I guess you would say. And then I am holding those two colors both with this fluffy, wonderful goodness. This is the same colorway as this light pink. This is a Surrey alpaca silk blend that I also dyed. 74% baby Surrey alpaca and 26% mulberry silk. That fluffiness. You can see the halo. These are my extras that I will use with the sweater. So I held the pink, the dark pink with the Surrey alpaca, and then I also am holding the same color with it for the rest of the sweater. So the whole rest of the sweater will be this light pink. I really love it. It's so soft and squishy. And I have my Sweetheart Cake Progress Keeper on there from our shop. So basically what you do is you knit the two sleeves separately, and then eventually once you start the body and stuff, you're going to join it all together. The construction of it is really cool. I love how she does it. The pattern is written really well. I haven't had any issues so far. I love how the lighter pink looks held double with the darker pink. So it's hard to try on because I'm using a 16-inch circular to do the sleeve. So it is a little bit hard to try on, but let me show you how it looks so far. So basically this is how it's gonna look. It's a longer cuff, which I love. And then, sorry, my nose because of the alpaca, all the fluff's making me sneeze. So it's like, you know, it's hard to tell because I can't pull it all the way up my arm because it's on such a small needle, but I really, really love it. So I will keep you guys updated on progress with this. This is the only thing new that I've cast on in the last 2 weeks. I think it's going to be beautiful when it's all finished. I would make another one of these striping them. If I had like an advent that I wanted to use for it, this would be perfect. And she's very detailed in how she tells you how to switch colors, when, where, all of that. So, but I think it's gonna look pretty in just the two pinks. Well, that's all the knitting I have, but I do have some happy mail to show you guys. I got a couple of things in the mail. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the Yarnable subscription box for February. If you have not gotten your box yet, if you get this subscription, and you haven't gotten your box yet, or you haven't opened yours yet, then spoiler warning, so look away, because I am going to show off what's inside. I've talked about Yarnable before. I've been getting Yarnable for about a year now, and every month you get a different colorway. You can pick the base that you get, either fingering weight or DK weight. You can pick the number of skeins you get. I just get one skein of fingering weight for now. I may switch to DK later on, but for now I'm enjoying the fingering weight yarn, so it's fine with me. So you get the colorway, always comes in this bag so you can't see it, which I love because I like to open it last. And then it also always comes with a bag of goodies. First, I gotta put my glasses on so I can read. So she always gives you a card that tells you what's inside. So this month is called Decadence. It's brought to you by Cocoa Trees, Sweet Indulgence, and Love Songs. The extras are a chocolate cake stitch marker from Susie J's, hot chocolate on a stick by Ticket Chocolate, and chocolate flavored taffy from Taffy to You. There's a QR code that you can scan that says scan the QR code to learn more about the items in this box, pattern suggestions, and to connect with us online. At the bottom, you can scratch this to reveal a discount valid at hypnoticyarn.com. All right, so let me show you the extras. This is the hot chocolate on a stick. The flavor is salted caramel. Sorry for the glare. That's so cool. These are perfect for February. And then this is a chocolate toffee little bag. It says you can order at taffy2u.com. And the sticker says, I can be bribed with chocolate and yarn. Can't wait to try that. And then it came with a chocolate cake stitch marker from Susie J's. This is adorable. It has a little strawberry on the top with all the little layers. And her name is Amber Bowling, Susie J's Etsy. She has an Etsy shop. And there's a coupon code on here, so I'm not gonna show the bottom part, but that is her info. That's adorable, that little stitch marker. I love it. I might have to put that on one of my projects. Okay, so let's look at the yarn, because there's still that goodie to look at too. How beautiful is that? Pinks and browns, different shades of pink, lighters and dark pink, some cream color in there. It's gorgeous. The colorway name is Raspberry Cream, plush sock base, fingering weight 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. 437 yards for 100 grams. This is the same base that I knit my January socks out of, and this is going to be my February socks. So, so pretty. I love it. So the Yarnable box subscription is a lot of fun. I look forward to it every month. I don't think she has any openings right now, but if you go to the website, I'll link it below, you can sign up for the wait list and get notified when she opens it back up again. Because I know the person behind Yarnable is Cheryl from Hypnotic Yarns, and she does open it up periodically for people to join the subscription. So what a great box, Cheryl. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it and cannot wait to see what the next month is. All right, so let's look at something else that I got in the mail. So I also get the Row 1 subscription every month. This is a minis subscription, and they feature a different dyer every month. Usually they're new to me dyers because the last few months especially, I have not ever heard of these dyers. Every month you get a little package. Inside is a paper telling you all about the dyer, the base that they use, a little bit about that dyer, and there's always a little sweet treat in there and a stitch marker. Usually there's always a little extra goodies. And then this is the yarn. It's in the plastic, so it's gonna be loud, but let me just pull it out. One of the things that I really like about the Row 1 subscription is that they're 10-gram minis. They come already wound up, just like this, so they're ready to go. And they also have the name of the dyer and the colorway name. So the dyer this month is called Murky Depths, and they always have the colorway name on them. So you get 10 different colors. I'm just gonna show you a few. And it's a great way to build up your stash if you're looking for a way to build up your minis stash. Ooh, that one's pretty. Ooh, look at this one. This one's called Uluru. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's gorgeous. So that is a great way, like I said, to build up your stash of minis. I have been getting this one probably about the same time as I've been getting the Yarnable subscription, and I have built up quite a stash of minis that I am planning to use in a blanket, another blanket that I'm gonna probably cast on in the next maybe month or two. I want to do the Habitation Throw by Helen Stewart, and I'm going to use my Row 1 minis for that. So I have, this is not even all of them, but I have this giant container of past minis that I have gotten. I also have another bucket size basket type thing that is filled with them, and I cannot wait to design that blanket and use all of these up for it. I will probably cast that on probably soon, like in the next month or so, because I want to be able to finish it in time for the end of the year, and I know that's going to be like a long-term project. So this is another fun subscription that you can get every month, and I've really enjoyed opening them, seeing all the different colors, getting inspiration from them, and thinking about all of the different things that I can make with them. All right, so the last thing I want to show you that I got in the mail was a surprise Galentine's present from my extremely sweet and generous friend Kelly. She sent me something from a company called Llama Love Joy. It came in this box, and I did not know about Llama Love Joy before she sent me this, but it is this beautiful yarn bouquet. Let me just show this off. I think that's Llama Love Joy's logo. It came with 5 mini skeins, 20-gram mini skeins, all wrapped up in this beautiful bouquet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How gorgeous is that? And it came just like this, laying in the box. all wrapped up in tissue, of course. But I just thought it was beautiful. This is the base. It's a fingering sock base, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The website is llama-lovejoy.com. So that was such a sweet surprise. Thank you so much, Kelly. I love it. I really appreciate how sweet you are and generous you are, and you truly are one of my closest and best friends that I have. We met through the knitting world, and we just are so alike, and we really hit it off, and I love it so much. So thank you so much. Okay, so I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and for joining us in this journey that we're on in the podcast world. I feel like this is a great way for us to communicate with you guys and to show the things that are in our shop and things that we're working on and knitting, crochet related, all of that stuff. Some plans that I would like to do with the podcast in the future are I'd like to take you guys on some field trips and maybe take you to some local yarn shops in Florida, and we'll start, you know, locally where we live, which is right outside of Tampa in Florida, and there's a few local yarn shops in this area, and then maybe branch out to go to Orlando or to go to, you know, more in the south of southern Florida and northern Florida. I don't know. I think it would be fun, like once every couple of months, to go on a field trip and show you some sights in Florida. And because I know Florida is a huge, you know, tourist attraction. There's a lot to do here. And I think it would be fun for people that aren't able to come right now, especially with everything going on in the world. I think it would be fun to show that off to you. So that might be another type of way that the podcast grows and changes a little bit, adding some type of series like that every month or every couple months, take you on a field trip. What else? I think that's it. So thank you again so much for joining me, and I don't know how long this is going to be today, so I hope it's not too long, but don't forget that we are updating the shop tomorrow on Saturday with the stitch markers and progress keepers that I showed off earlier, and be on the lookout for news about the spring update that will be happening in just a few weeks. And until I see you next time, I hope you all have a wonderful couple of weeks. Keep in contact with us and, you know, through Instagram and Facebook, and comment on this video if you liked it and want to see more content. I think it's a great way to communicate with not just our customers, but the knitting community. And let me know if you like what I'm doing so far, because I'm so new to this. I have really no idea what I'm doing as far as podcasts go. And but if there's anything you'd like to see added to content-wise to the channel, if you think the field trip idea is a good idea, let me know in the comments. I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go now. I hope you all have a great couple of weeks, and we will see you again soon. Thank you so much. One more thing, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. That is the best way to make sure that you see new videos that are posted, and just to help us grow our channel and reach more people in the knitting world. And I just wanted to say that how much I really appreciate all of you, and you know, thank you again so much. I'm on my way to get my son from school, but I just wanted to tell you guys, I tried this taffy. Wow, it is so delicious. taffy2u.com. It's like chocolate flavors. It is really, really good. If you like taffy, definitely check them out. It's what I got in my Yarnable box.